So Mikko, we're back in Joutsa circuit. What are we going to do here today?
Today we're going to learn how to drive front wheel driven car in rally terms, like how you keep the speed with it and how you go through the corners with it.
Well, how do you do that then?
Obviously it's quite a bit different than with rear wheel driven car or four wheel driven car. And you always try to keep the car as neat as possible, but it always starts from the braking. But through the corner you keep the throttle all the time. You ask the angle you need from the steering wheel. You keep the throttle on so that the front wheels are spinning all the time and trying to keep the front where you want to go. And then with the left foot you can use it all the time to tide it a little bit. Not really slow down so much, but just give a little bit brake pressure with left foot braking to tie the car and keep all the four wheels on the ground. And if you need, you can brake or let it go a little bit looser, and then that's how you go through the corner.
Sounds easy, but I think it's going to be a bit more complicated than that.
Yeah, I think that explanation was a bit complicated, but when I show you in real life, then you will see it's going to be really easy to go.
I hope so. So let's go and try it then.
So Mikko, now in the front wheel drive car, can we just go through once again what we're going to do in the corner with this car?
So one thing we have to try to avoid, obviously now when the front wheels are pulling, we have to find the grip level with this car as well. And if we push too much throttle, so the wheels are starting to spin, one thing that we are getting too much speed in the mid corner, and it also starts to understeer. So in that moment we can do left foot braking a little bit to slow the car down and also give more weight in the front wheels that it starts to turn. But through the corner we should find a good balance with the throttle again. This car is not going to slide. It's just going to pull from the front in the inside of the corner, and if we need more angle we can just turn the steering wheel and hopefully the car turns in the direction we want.
Well, let's see one good example from you how it should be done.
Let's try to do a good example. I don't know if I'm able to do it, but we can try. We take some speed, we go with the third gear. Throttle left foot and then we open the throttle fully. So like in the mid corner, if there's a danger that the car oversteers, it's a good thing with the front wheel drive. You can save it easy that you just go flat out with the throttle, and the weight of the car and the momentum is going to pull the front back on the line.
Okay.
But also if it understeers, then you can just push a little bit more brakes to correct the line, kind of give more weight in the front wheels, and then lift the throttle a little bit so that it doesn't spin the wheels so much. So let's go again one more time.
Okay, one more time and explain what you do.
And also when you have the weight transfer here in the middle of the corner, the rear goes a little bit up, and then just mid-throttle a little bit in the left foot brake, and it goes nicely in one angle around the corner.
Okay, let's see if I can do it.
So for the spectator and maybe for some drive point of view, it's a little bit more boring way to drive, that you are trying to avoid to slide all the time. But if it slides a lot, then you just hit the gas flat out and the front will pull itself back on the line. But normally through the corner you brake hard, then you go back on throttle, and with the steering wheel you find the angle for the corner what you want to find. And then if it starts to understeer, then you can do left foot braking a little bit to slow the car down and find the grip again, and then it goes nicely and stays on the line.
Well, let's see what happens. So here we go.
Here we go. So we take a little bit speed. Down here. Yeah, that's pretty good. More flat out now.
It wasn't perfect because I was pulling away from the line a little bit.
A little bit, but the car stayed nicely on one angle. It was not like oversteering, understeering, oversteering, doing all that lot, so it was not bad at all.
Let's try again.
Fourth gear, brake, third again, left foot.
Now we went very wide.
You went a little bit too fast into the corner and you hit the gas straight, it started to understeer.
Okay.
First you have to have the weight transfer that the car starts to turn, and then you smoothly go back on throttle.
So I have to admit that was a little bit easier than with the rear-wheel drive or with the four-wheel drive.
It is, yeah. I think maybe there's a little bit I don't know, less elements what to kind of worry about. Like it gives you more confidence when when front wheels are pulling, and with the steering wheel you just kind of ask the car to go in one direction and the front wheels are pulling in that direction, and then you just have to be worried about that you don't spin the wheels too much in a corner. But then you can do a little bit left foot braking, which you find really quickly the point where to do it and when not. So it was really good performance what you did.
But I'm sure that if we start to go really fast and compete, then this gets complicated too.
It is, yeah, it is true, and maybe in general, I don't know, you might think that it's easier to handle, but then when you fight for the last second, then it's tricky. You can't do too much of left foot braking. You have to be really brave because the car tends to understeer. So then you are all the time really in a limit that is it understeering or not, and you have to be really brave. And then you do left foot braking a little bit, but not too much. And if it's light, it's going to kill the speed as well. So then it's complicated, but it was a good start. So you can definitely go to the shop, buy a car and enter it to your first rally.
Thank you, Mikko. That was a great day.
Yeah, thank you.